Have you found it?
Yes, Commissioner.
You will see there that General Gerber, General Gerber found, oh, my apologies, if we can go to page 106, that's where the findings are. Are you there?
Yes, Commissioners.
So you'll see the first finding relates to the fact that he or she found no evidence indicating wrongdoing on the part of the DPCI members, including yourself.
Correct.
Right? And the findings also that you acted bona fide within the scope of your mandate of the DPCI. However, she goes on to say that there were fundamental administrative errors made by the investigators assigned to the team and highlighted.
Sorry, which paragraph is that?
It's just after the list of names. Can you see that?
After?
After the list of names, so
Okay, yes.
You, Lieutenant Colonel Sebola, and then
Yes,
says,
okay.
in any wrongdoing. So the sentence starts with, I could find no evidence implicating any of the following members, list the members in any wrongdoing. Goes on to say, on the contrary, they acted bona fide and within the scope and mandate of the DPCI. There were fundamental administrative errors made by the investigators assigned to the team, and I highlight this although they have no bearing on the IPID recommendations. You see that?
Yes.
And there she lists 7 fundamental errors.
Yes.
And in your statement, when you deal with this report, you don't deal with these. So can we have a look at them?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Okay. Now, they note there that there were errors in relation to serial numbers on the evidence bags. Did you witness or see any of this?
No.
Were you told of any of this, the administrative errors?
No.
Goes on to say, statement of Captain Norkia and Warrant Officer Morris, who performed the seizure together, differs, but was rectified and found to be an administrative error. So she notes there that the 2 officers that were in charge of the counting, their statements initially differed.
Yes, I still remember. I can remember that there was a statement that was rectified and sent to the docket by Captain Norkia.
Sent to who?
To me, that was
To you.
with regard to, but at that time, if I still remember, it was with regard to the last bricks that was alleged to have been left out, but not with regard to the packaging.
So
He was making an additional statement to say this thing was also left out. Then it was sent together and with those. It was sent to where the first package was sent.
no, it appears you'll see there that the error relating to the 1 brick that was recovered later is dealt with as point 4.
Yes, yeah, I can see it.
So this appears
But
to
other than
be
that,
a different mistake.
Commissioners, other than that, I was never informed of any other error. This is the only one that I know.
Right. And then you see the 3rd bullet talks to number of evidence collected. Statements indicate 700. FSL received 715. Several witness statements also confirm 715. Can you see that?
Yes.
And We heard testimony, and I think we did the numbers as well. There was a difference between what the officers on the scene recorded, as well as in the SAP 13 register. The numbers got up to 700, but it was at the lab where they said 750.
750. Correct, I'm aware of that.
You're aware of that area?
Yes.
And then there's the one brick that was recovered by LCRC and handed over to DPCI.
That is one that
And the criticism there is that it indicates members did not fully explore and receive all exhibits. It's categorized as a human error, or in her view.
Yes.
And were you aware of this error?
Yes, I'm aware of those errors.
And when did you become aware?
I can't recall, but what I know, when they were taking the exhibit there, even if a forensic bag can have, that is what Captain Norkia told me, that they had to put another bag, or to put another, the first forensic bag in the other one. That one I was aware.
I think you are talking about a different era. There, where they put the bag in another bag was when FSL refused to take the bags because some of the evidence bags were damaged. This point refers to the one brick that was recovered by LCRC. Do you know what happened with that one brick? How it was missed?
I know when Captain Norkia said he was called to come and collect that brick and he sent it to FSL.
I'm asking if you know how that happened.
I think that can be contained in Captain Norkia's statement, Commissioners.
Okay. And when Captain Norkia informed you of this, you didn't ask how it happened, why exhibits were missed?
The only thing that I can remember is that it was left in one of those bags. How?
When you say one of those bags, what bags?
The bricks were taken out of the black sports bags.
Yes.
Then the indication, even though I'm speaking on what I was told by Captain Nokia and what should be, I think it should be covered by his own statement, because he's admitted the statement of sending late the other exhibit.
I'm not sure I understand, but I hope the commissioners do. I'll move past that and go to the next issue that Herbe identified, and that was the premature arrest of the police officers, albeit justified based on the circumstances at the crime scene. If allowed time to investigate, a different outcome may have been achieved. You see that? So one of the criticisms is that there was a premature arrest of the police officers.
As I indicated earlier, Commissioners, premature in terms of the dealing in drugs and possession of drugs. But in terms of their purpose of trying to defeat the end of justice, Commissioners, I'm still against this findings.
So you accept?
Had it not been for me to say, the main purpose of these members to be there had other motives other than that of assisting the state. If we can go back, if maybe I had to advise General Herbert to say, the very same members, they are contravening their own instruction. When it says crime scene management, how the crime scene must be managed, we have got national instructions that guide us to say, this is how we approach crime scene, which means deviating from that itself. I think in General Herbert's report, he should have noticed that the very same members deviated from National Instruction 1 of 2024, that of saying crime scene management.
Colonel, isn't the issue that when they were arrested, the Section 35 certificate or notice that they had to sign said they are dealing with drugs? Now that is premature because at the point nobody even knew that these are drugs. They were arrested at a point where all they had done was interfere with the crime scene. But that's not the charge for which they were arrested.
That is correct.
They were arrested for dealing in drugs. Now that is premature because on that day, nobody could make even a presumption that they are dealing with drugs because they say they were taking the drugs to the police station in Ekurhuleni. So to say they are dealing with drugs is premature if you don't even know where they are taking them. It may be that they were clueless about what the prescripts are, or they deliberately violated the prescripts. But it's a giant leap to say what they did amounted to dealing in drugs.
In that instance, Commissioner, I will concede.
Yes.
Thank you.
Colonel, then the next is a lack of follow-up on alibis, thus allowing defense to obtain statements and providing such to their representations to DPP. Can you see that?
Lack of follow-up on alibis.
Just for context, Ms. Bowe, please remind me what the alibis were. I'm just thinking, for example, Warrant Officer Mohana was there. He was at Eriton. The bags were on his buggy. Warrant Officer Pakula was physically there. He was found at the scene. Chief Mashaba was also there at the scene. Just remind me for context what alibis are referred to here.
Chair,
I'm not saying there aren't any. I've just forgotten the context altogether.
from the context, my understanding of this criticism relates to calling the supervisors of the various officers at the scene because from the interviews at the scene or the calls made, they were informed that commanders didn't know where these officers were. But subsequently, the statements that were filed by the various officers indicated, at least in the case of Officer Mahano and Pakula, that they were aware of the members' operations. So perhaps it's not worded.
Or then it's probably a wrong use of the term alibis, because I understand it to refer to, I was not there, I was elsewhere.
Yes, I discerned it from the context.
But what you say makes sense in the context, yeah.
Yes, because if you also...
So it's the person who wrote this that used alibi wrongly, it seems.
General
Yes.
Gerber.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Bowe. Please repeat your question.
Chair, I even forgot what the question was. No, Colonel, I was asking for your comment regarding the lack of following up with the supervisors, because it's from the criticism, and I mean, it's apparent from how the case then proceeded, that delay in talking to the supervisors resulted in the statements coming up much later, where those supervisors then said that their members did inform them of this operation. And just to say that it's this criticism is also shared by the NPA in their report.
Isn't maybe the first question to ask whether, Colonel Sibula, you know what alibis are referred to here? Who are the alibis? Do you know who the author of the report would have been referring to as alibis that should have been followed up?
Commissioners, it's just that maybe I know what alibis are. I know for sure it's Section 36 and 37 of the Amendment Act with regard to certain properties, then if I found somebody in possession of something, he gave me certain information to say, yes, I'm in possession of this. I got it from this person. That is the alibi that I can follow. But having somebody coming from somewhere, I can even state in this instant, I know Lieutenant Colonel Maluleka, who's one of the people who wrote this statement. His commander was Colonel Sohove. I phoned Colonel Sohove. Do you know where? Because we are from the same division. He is not working narcotics. He is working EPR. So if what he was saying is alibi, to say he was there at the scene, the question is, what was his purpose? What did he do at the scene?
No, my question, maybe to go back to my question.